Hey guys, RPG A Day 2020, day number 6. Our prompt today is forest, and I have a problem. I have a problem. That is my love for forests. Um, it's my favorite biome, probably. Movie Maker is gonna ding in just a second, just to let you know. Um, Probably because I grew up in it. I had so much fun in it. I grew up with the Mark Twain National Forest as my neighbor. My parents moved out of a major U.S. city when I was three and a half, and I grew up from there to the time I left for college and where my folks still live, um, both in two different places, and they both have the Mark Twain National Forest as one of the fence boundary neighbors. And the first place where I really grew up as a child, um, it was a dirt road to our west. I'm gonna just guess the National Forest to our east, and our south and north neighbors were both people who had land just for hunting when they came from a major city to visit, and fishing and stuff like that. So they didn't have it cleared for agricultural use or anything like that. It was just forest, the kind of forest, mostly deciduous, but some conifers, and hillsides that have huge rocks, right? Like the rocks are like 10, 15 feet tall, jutting out of it. And you've got like the stuff underneath the rock that's been dug out. And sometimes you see like little foxholes or rabbit holes. Love it. Love it. So almost every place I put my players in fantasy worlds, medieval fantasy worlds, it's freaking forest all the time. Like I, I I noticed it and I started trying to like work my way around it, but um when I'm trying to imagine like a situation, um, man, trees are my line of sight blockers, and the ways for people to get up. Actually, one of my first RPG characters that I had a concept for, which was like a back when I first saw D&D second edition, and then later when I played D&D third edition, was the character that I tried to build was a fighter who was equally competent with bows and longswords, um, who was a good enough climber to get up and try to ambush from above or shoot bows from above. And I mean, it's just always trees, 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 trees all the time. I should try to make a positive, like a player race culture that deforests a lot, and see if I can make them not the bad guys. um, I was I find that's just me gushing about forests and trying to explain a little bit about like why that's true, but also like forests can be on mountainsides, forests can be on slightly hilly areas, forests can be in pretty flat areas. You've got young forests where the branches are all in your face. You've got towering redwood type forests where, and some conifers where the leaves are, the branches aren't any lower than 12, 15 feet. You've got, um, certain tree species will grow more dense than others. You've got the ones whose roots tend to go more horizontal, or maybe because of rock formations underneath, they have to run more horizontally, so it creates a more challenging terrain for the characters to be fighting in. There's so many um, variations of forests that you can just use and try to take advantage of. And maybe that's true of a lot of other terrains, and because of the first half of this video, I just don't even see it. Um, I'm trying not to make a lot for this second setting that I have, the Draco Theos setting. Um, but the one, well, I guess that there's two enemy creatures. There's three enemy creature like people sets that I had come up with, and one's just people that humans that have different values and are antagonistic and stuff. And then the murder elf folks that you might have heard about if you're a member of the RPG response group. Um, But the third one was I think the most interesting set. I mean, even more interesting than the murder elf things. And guess where they live? They live in the forest. uh, I've never done a rainforest, actually. Never done rainforest. So I have even more forest for myself to explore. Ridiculous. Hey, you guys, you know what time it is. It's RPG a Day in August. Go ahead and participate. Make anything as large as a blog post or something as small as a Twitter tweet or a Facebook post, or maybe even make some visual or auditory art. On each day of August, take the topic that's there, free to roam around the grid, and have a response. The response, you were looking for talking about the hobby of RPGs in a really positive way. It's something that exciting to others, exciting to you, and maybe generates interest in the hobby. Just basically sharing the positiveness of this hobby. All right, go out there, listen, watch, read, create, participate, comment, like, and hashtag everything with RPG a Day. See you later.